Hey there movers, it's Bree. For today's Movement Monday, we're going to be doing a PIT or Pilates interval training sequence. So you'll need your foot bar down, your feet hip distance apart, one blue spring on, and your short box loaded in front of your shoulder blocks onto the carriage. We'll start with some deep breaths, some diaphragmatic breathing. So as you inhale, you pull the ribs apart. And as you exhale out through the mouth, from the back of the throat, you try to draw the ribs together. Inhale again, you'll start to hear some beeps happening. And the next beep is going to be our start of the movement. So we'll inhale the arms up. 50 seconds of movement. Exhale the arms down onto the edge of the carriage. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, round and curl and scoop the spine. Getting a nice stretch there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl, scoop, and strengthen the core. So a lot of the movements today will not only be about, finding strength in the body, but also about finding that length on the opposite side of the body. So now in about 12 seconds, we'll hold the carriage out so we can get into a deeper rotation here. So probably the next time that we press out, we'll hold it in 3, 2, 1. Keep your spine long, your tailbone reaching. Walk your right hand to the middle of your carriage there, and your left hand can reach across so your left shoulder can come down. Now with your thighs attached to that foot bar, we're trying to hold this stretch and reach out a little further without your shoulder coming up towards your ear. Instead, keep your hips squared up with each other and rotating from the waistline. Then you roll the carriage back in, letting go of your left hand, bring it to where your right hand is, and reach underneath across the body and onto either the side of your carriage or the side of your foot bar. Oh, but this just feels like such a good rotational twist there through the body to allow an aid in digestion or detoxifying movements through the spine. Oh, feels so good. Roll yourself back up, both hands return, and you stack the spine up tall, okay? So now set up your foot bar into your normal position and position yourself up onto the carriage, kneeling in front of your box with your heel of the left foot onto your foot bar. 50 seconds here of pressing out on one blue spring, and it is going to feel light at first, but we want to make sure that we have all of that alignment, that engagement coming up through the core, wrapping the ribs, navel towards the spine. Your hands aren't clenching on themselves, they're just nice and soft. Shoulder blades are spread wide. Figure out if one leg is doing something weird or funky than the other. Right now I can feel my right toes wanting to point. So just to keep that leg more active on the back side, try a flexed foot position. Toes on the left side are staying pointed down. We got 3 more seconds here. You're gonna hold out, and then for just 10 seconds, hold that position, okay? So trying to draw the rib cage up and in, maybe adjusting, then pushing that carriage forward just a little bit more. So now for 50 seconds, little baby pikes of your right knee coming away from the carriage. If this bothers the left knee at all, you can also come down and try to bring the foot bar down a little lower, or you could totally do this on the platform instead. So your toes would have to hook on, okay? You're still getting that amount of core work happening, but as you're holding that strong plank, you're isolating more of the obliques. If you'd like to intensify the movement, you can up and then twist your body. Bring it up and twist the body. We got 10 more seconds here. Last 3, 2, and then 1. So now bring it back down. 10 seconds to rest, get yourself set up, and make sure those hips are level, your heel is onto that foot bar, your left foot is flexed, and you press long through your right leg and bring it back in. And then same as before, if this foot on the foot bar feels a little too high for the body, if you're pressing out and feeling that your body is kind of banana shaping or hammocking the belly down, then bring your foot back to the platform instead. The sort of engagement or alignment that you want to maintain is from head to tail connection, and then as that leg straightens, it's head to heel. So you're keeping everything in line, everything nice and strong. Holding yourself out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I'm gonna bring myself back down because that was bothering my knee on the other side. So just with the toes hooked onto the platform edge, holding there, and then that beep means it's 50 seconds of those little baby pikes, pulling that knee up and away, drawing the belly button away from the thigh, thigh in towards the chest. And you're gonna feel it in the shoulders now too, because just maintaining this like pseudo plank position is already hard enough. Remember, you have that option to lift, rotate, and then lower back down. Lift, rotate, and lower back down. And that just gets into more obvious oblique connection with the body. Last 10 seconds. All right, so now from there, we're gonna come back in, take a seat onto your box, facing towards your foot bar, facing front. Try to use your core to bring yourself down, to reach for those longer loops, and then serve a platter to help to get that blood flowing back to those shoulders. Okay, holding those isometric positions can be not only challenging, but just like stagnant. So we wanna get some movement back into the body there. So 50 seconds, we already got our halfway point. Always utilizing control through the movement, making sure that there's no slack in the line, but there is always tension there. Holding those arms forward in 12 seconds. Last one, reach forward, stay forward. Turn those thumbs up, make sure that your core is pulled in, or not pulled in, but like engaged, and lifting up through the spine. Your thumbs are up, your palms are in. You're gonna open the arms out to the side and then hug back around a tree. So this is actually like, people expect a lot of movement happening through the carriage, but it's a tiny movement. You want your fingertips to remain in your periphery. If they come behind where you can't even see them anymore, that puts a lot of strain on your shoulders. So we always want to make sure that you are at least able to see those fingertips without having to turn your head to look at them. Whew. If you wanted a little bit more challenge, you can reach those legs out in front of you. And it's the same as getting those lower abdominal muscles firing up and turned on. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Place those straps down. Now you're gonna straddle your reformer. Make sure your headrest is down. And from there, reaching for the front strap or loop, taking yourself into that externally rotated foot position. And then your left arm will go down as your right arm reaches up and overhead. And just like hold that stretch here through that right side body as you look down and up. And then come back to your start position. So goalpost or cactus arm, left arm reaching, and it goes down for the carriage. Hold that stretch as you look down and up a couple times. So we'll probably only get about like 4 to 5 reps here. Being able to maintain that deep side bend in the body, as well as that shoulder extension up overhead, flexion up overhead. Whew, that's our 10-second mark. Turn yourself to look back. Grab onto the straps above the hardware or your knots. And we go for a wide chest expansion. So now from here, pulling back behind the hips and then just going to mid-thigh or front corners of the box. Keeping the head tall, the shoulders soft, pulling from that space right behind the armpits and between those shoulder blades. Like there's a band on the back of your body that's shortening and then lengthening. It lengthens when your arms go forward, and it shortens as your arms go back. Keep the ribs wrapped down, pelvic floor lifted up. 10 seconds here. And you'll put down your left strap, turn to your right, and hold on to that strap in your left hand. So 10 seconds to set up, long loop into your left hand, turn your body to the right, scoot your butt back so you have enough room for both of your feet. Your right arm reaches long, your left arm reaches up overhead for that, oh yeah, good stretch. Down and up. Oh, I just felt an adjustment through my back in a good way. And so when we always go from one side to the next, it's always a nice opportunity to compare. Like for me, my left side is my more challenged side. I don't like to use the word like weak or weaker or like I've got issues on that side or problems. Instead, saying that it's a challenge for me to work into this range of motion because it's challenging for me to reach into this tension of a blue spring with my left arm. Oh, all right. So from here, now this is going to be a little tricky if you do have an Allegro 2, where the foot bar, in order to move it, you pull up into it. So my bar is locked in place. We're going to start on our hips here, working into some back extension, and your legs will go Achilles tendon underneath of that bar. Hands come across the chest. And right now, just activate through those legs. If you need to put your hands onto the bar, and then make sure your core is engaged, your butt is pushing into the bar or into the box. Then try to hold this position. This is just the isometric hold. We're already past that halfway point. So we want to make sure that we're level with the heels, okay? We're not trying to like overextend into that position, but really try to feel your pubic bone pushing into the box. Glutes are turned on, heels are pushing up, and you're breathing. Ten seconds to rest. Reach those arms forward, try to headbutt the headrest, rest down. All right, now we will be moving into that range of motion, okay? So that's our timer going off. We want to pull ourselves up, make sure you feel where the heels and hips are, and that is your height. Typically, it's like at the top of your push-up. Now, bring your hands across the chest, lower down, and back up. It's a very tiny range of movement, but it's to activate through the glutes here. If you are feeling this in your low back at all, reassess, maybe readjust. You might need to move your body forwards or backwards a little bit more, but you want like the 3 points of the hips, like the 2 bony points of your hips and your pubic bone of the hips to be pressing into that box because you want the glutes to be doing majority of the work there. Last 2 and 1. All right, go ahead and bring yourself back into that kneeling position where we started. This time your toes, both of them are hooked onto the front edge of the platform. Walk your knees towards the back edge of your carriage, and don't move the carriage as you lift and hover, then lower back down. Hover, 3, 2, 1, lower back down. 3, 2, 1, lower back down. And so typically, like if you were to look down at your belly and you see like a bulging dome, like pulling out from your belly, or like your everything is just like blue, pushing down towards the ground, we don't want that to happen. Instead, imagine there's a string pulling the navel up towards the ceiling, and that lift of that string helps you to lift your knees. We already got 12 seconds left. If you want an extra spice, we're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. And our next movement is gonna be scooter planks. So hold, 10, 9, ooh, I'm shaking. 3, 2, 1. And you'll press out into your plank and then pull back in. Maybe you touch the stoppers to get that full range of movement. Maybe you can hear it in my breath how like shaky I am. But that's just a great way to realize like how much all parts of the body are working with you here. 12 seconds. We're gonna do a little semicircle after this. So the setup might take a little longer than 10 seconds, and that's fine. Whew, okay. So now from here, add on a red spring and take off your blue. We will sit onto your carriage in front of your box, and your feet will go up once you press your carriage out, right onto the foot bar. So we want to make sure that like your butt isn't all the way up against the box. Instead, it's kind of pulled forward towards the edge of your carriage. So right kind of where you wear a heart rate monitor or your bra strap line ends, right under the shoulder blades. Heels together, but your toes are onto the foot bar. So you're in that Pilates V position. As you lift yourself with the hips up into basically a bridge position, you want your head to be resting onto the box. Pull your carriage home. This is where your hands can go to the corner edges of your box and press out. When you come home now, lower the hips. Keep those heels together, but as you come home, press the hips up, keep them up, push out, lower the hips, pull down. All right, so now in this one, we kind of got away from the time. So we'll do 4 in each direction. That was 3. Oh, it feels so good in the back. And here's 4. So now we'll reverse directions. We go out as we stay down. Lift the hips up as you come in and repeat. So we're basically making a circle with the hips. Ooh, don't let those heels dissipate. What was I trying to, I don't know. Sometimes like words come out of my mouth and I'm just like, what was I trying to say with that? They don't disconnect. I think that was what I was trying to say. Last one. So now you can press yourself out, start to lift your head and looking towards your toes. Make sure you can drop your hips, feel the carriage underneath of you, then one foot, then both feet come onto the platform there. All right, so now we'll need to move our box into long box position. And we got 10 seconds to set up. If you're a foot bar, if you'd like to move it out of the way, you can. So long box strap pulling. I like to step onto the platform and then push the box out and get myself into position. Some people like boobs off box, some people like them on box, but now from here, I like it off. Grab for your straps above the hardware. Because I have my foot bar up, I like to use it there to make sure I've got glute engagement, toes are pointed, heels are together. If that doesn't feel good, step them about hip distance apart, okay? And so now where you're at, you've got some slack in the line. From here, pull those lines taut, and you're starting to feel now more back body engaged. So can you keep your heels together, that point through the legs, and then keep them lifted as you go over the foot bar with your legs and pull the strap. So strap pull. Goal is to try to keep that torpedo shape through the body. All right, go for about 50 seconds here. Sorry, we got away from the time a little bit. But navel is pulling away from the box. Try to create some space there like you've got an ice cube under your belly. And if you had a top bun on, you're trying to like squish the top bun towards the wall in front of you. If you'd like a little bit more, you can flex the feet into your froggy bend, bending at the knees and trying to lift your thighs off of the box. But if this causes any low back tension or pain, you come out of it back into that long leg reach, either with the legs apart or together. And we got 8 more seconds here. I like that feeling in the booty though. All right, arms long, take a moment to rest. We get ready for some triceps. If you are feeling it in the back, move your body backwards so that you have more of your chest onto the box. All right, so setting yourself up, heels together, toes pointing, bend and stretch through those arms. 50 seconds of those triceps now to burnout. Keep those shoulders back and down, away from those ears. Oh man, we're already at the end of the timer. That's crazy. Time flies. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty. So, with that little bit of arm heavy movement that we worked through today, hope you guys enjoyed that, and looking forward to moving with you next time. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.